You've been gone 4 hours. Normal Tuesday. Groceries, maybe a coffee. Nothing worth reporting. And then the door opens, and it's not a greeting, it's a detonation. The tippy-taps start before you're even fully inside, that frantic little percussion on the hardwood that somehow sounds both urgent and celebratory at the same time. Then the full-body wiggle kicks in, where their back half completely loses the plot from their front half, and they're just vibrating in 2 directions simultaneously. And then the cold, wet nose, doing this frantic, thorough inventory of your entire face like you've returned from somewhere genuinely dangerous and they need to personally verify every square inch of you is accounted for. And then the thing that quietly breaks you, every single time, they settle. Immediately. The second you're there, everything in them just resolves. Like a question that's finally been answered. Have you ever had anyone in your life that happy that you simply existed and came back? Here's what most of us do with that moment. We shrink it. We tell ourselves, they're just excited for routine. They do this for anyone who fed them. It's instinct, not feeling. And I get why we do that. Because the alternative, that this animal has organized a significant portion of its emotional life around your specific existence, is almost too large to sit with comfortably. It's easier to chalk it up to Pavlov and move on. The only problem is the science won't let you do that anymore. So it's just routine in food, right? Except, no, wait, that's not actually what the data shows. The data shows something that's harder to explain away. Prato-Previde and colleagues studied how dogs respond to owner absence versus absence of a familiar stranger who provided identical care and resources. Same food, same attention, same routine. And the dog's stress responses were not the same. The differential wasn't about who fed them. It was about who you specifically are to them. The data keeps pointing back to you, personally, as the variable that matters. And then there's Dr. Gregory Berns at Emory University, who put dogs in MRI machines, which, honestly, that study is already unhinged in the best possible way, and found that owner scent activates the caudate nucleus, the brain's reward and anticipation center, more powerfully than any other stimulus, including food. But here's the part I genuinely had to sit with before I could write past it. Research on dog cognition shows they maintain a mental representation of you during your absence. They're not just reacting when you walk in, they're holding you in mind while you're gone. Your existence occupies space in their brain even when you're not in the room. Short pause, let that land. Now translate that into what it actually means. Your dog doesn't have unread messages. They don't have background anxiety about a thing that might happen next Thursday. They don't have a social calendar or a career or a version of themselves at trying to perform for other people. Their emotional landscape is built almost entirely around your presence, your return, your mood, your voice, every time you felt guilty leaving. Every time you've talked to them like they understood. Every time you've apologized out loud to a dog in a voice you'd never use with another adult, you were responding to something real. You felt it because it is real. Stop apologizing for knowing that. And it goes all the way down to the chemistry. Nagasawa et al. Showed the oxytocin loop, the bonding hormone, activating in both dog and owner during eye contact. But what matters here isn't just that the loop exists, it's that it exists specifically with you. Their oxytocin doesn't spike for everyone who walks through a door, it spikes for you. And then there's the Sunman et al. Cortisol synchronization research from 2019 showing that dogs' long-term stress hormone patterns mirror their owners over months. Their body has literally tuned itself to your frequency, and I think about this every time I smell the corn chip scent of my dog's paws, that weird specific smell that you find oddly comforting for no rational reason. That smell is a body that has chemically calibrated itself to live alongside yours. This happened because of 15,000 years of domestication restructuring the dog's entire social attachment system around human presence. They didn't just learn to tolerate us, they redirected the emotional architecture that used to organize around a pack and rebuilt it around you. You became the pack. You became the anchor, the whole social structure. Hold up a half-chewed toy. Look at it. Which makes it genuinely remarkable that huskies, fully aware of all of this, still choose to scream at you because the water bowl is 2 inches to the left. Pick up a behaviorism textbook. Read the driest line you can find about stimulus response conditioning. Set it down. Technically accurate. Emotionally, completely useless. The reductive model can't explain dogs who grieve. It can't explain the Akita who waited at a train station for years after his owner died. It can't explain dogs who detect cancer before symptoms show up on any scan. Some things are just bigger than the model built to contain them. Here's the part that cuts both ways, though, and I'm saying this carefully not to make you feel bad. If you are genuinely their entire world, then your emotional absence, even when you're physically present, doesn't just brush past them. It reshapes the weather inside their whole existence. The same research that shows how completely they love you also shows how completely they feel you, even when you're standing right there. The bar for showing up for your dog is almost insultingly low and almost impossibly high at the same time. 10 seconds of real eye contact. The zoomies you actually participate in, instead of just filming for the group chat. Sitting on the floor during the muffled, twitchy sleep bark phase and just being there. Sit on the floor, look directly at the camera, let the silence sit for a beat. They don't need you to be better. They need you to be present. Those are different things. So go back to that door. The tippy taps, the full body detonation, the cold wet nose running its frantic inventory, and then the settling. That settling isn't relief, it's completion. Their nervous system, their oxytocin loop, their 15,000-year-old attachment architecture, all of it resolves the second you walk through that door. You are not a nice thing in their life. You are the answer to the question their entire biology has been quietly asking since the moment you left. And the most quietly devastating, most beautiful thing the science leaves us with. They never once doubted you were coming back. There's a specific moment every dog owner has where it stops being cute and starts being something you genuinely can't explain. Where you look at them and think, this is real. Tell me yours in the comments. The moment you stopped minimizing it, no research paper I found could have told me what you're about to write. And next time, we're going into something that surprised even me, what your dog actually understands when you talk to them. It's not what you think.